is looking deep down the left side. Mendeville into the end zone. Touchdown!
Down the sideline, still Foley pointing to the house.
And the players streaming from the sideline to celebrate with 17 seconds left.
Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of BVarsity Live. This is Thursday, April the 28th. I'm Zach Ewing, and this is the TBC Media Studio in downtown Bakersfield. And it's NFL Draft Night. Nick, you just said, Nick Ellis is here with me. He said that it was strange to see football on the monitor, but the way America works these days, I don't think football ever really leaves our consciousness for maybe a week at a time.
I really don't think it does either.
March Madness, maybe, people forget about it for a few
days.
For those 3 days. That's about it.
Yeah, other than that, everybody's football. Yeah.
Even during the World Series, they've got to worry about ratings if it's up against a college game or an NFL game. I mean, it just sort of dominates everything. And so that's sort of why you're here, too, because I almost did it. The All-Star Bowl, it's not the Arena Bowl anymore. The U.S. Army All-Star Bowl is coming up here in Kern County in a couple of weeks. In fact, 2 weeks from tomorrow. That game is May the 13th.
Yes.
Over at Rabobank Arena, and it's the 12th.
15th.
15. Wow.
15 years. Yeah.
It's
15
been going on.
years.
I think this is my 9th All-Star Bowl, so I've been here for most of them now. But the 15th one is coming up in May in a couple of weeks, and it's going to be it's going to be another show. It's always a great show, and it's always one of the coolest things to see these guys, and we'll have some of them on the show later. We're going to dedicate the whole hour to the All-Star Bowl. They come out and they show Kern County what they've got one last time, and they get to kind of have some fun in the indoor game. How is the excitement kind of building for this one? I know practice has started and that sort of thing.
Practices are getting ready to start. I think teams obviously are formed. They're 24, 25 players per team, and there is a lot of excitement right now about the game. Media-wise, we're going to have more things on TV and the radio here in the next couple of weeks, building up to the game day. I'll tell you what, if you can, go to the game because it is really a fun event. If you've never been, you're missing out on something. People I talk to all the time that have been to the game, they're always asking, when are we going to have the game? When is the game scheduled for? This year, we scheduled the game in May instead of in April to try to give some of the kids that are the high school athletes that are playing other sports a chance to get through those sports and hopefully be able to focus more on this one last game at the Rabobank Arena. So it is an absolute great time. Everybody has fun. We have cheerleaders there. The cheerleaders, I went to their practice this last week. They're really putting in their time. Everybody involved in this game is just super excited about the game day. And one thing, I've been involved in this, I think, 7 or 8 years now at this point. I tell the players when we have a little pregame talk, I think the day before the game, we'll speak about different things. And I'll say, guys, I want you to really savor everything that goes on here because this is going to be something you'll remember for the rest of your life. And I've had players come back to me years later and say, you know what, Nick, you were exactly right. It is something that I'll always savor. It's a great time for the kids. Some of those kids, it'll be the last time they play football. There's a good crowd of them that are going to go on to play college ball, either at Division I level or maybe D2, D3 junior college. But there are a number there that this is it, and it's a great way to showcase their talents. Arena Bowl is a completely different game. I'm sure you have some comments on this. When you look at some of the players that are maybe really studs, especially the key players and skill players like quarterbacks and running backs, who you might think would be really good or who is really good in a high school game may not be as good.
Doesn't always translate.
Doesn't translate, So I'm really excited about it. I'm thankful that I'm going to be a part of the game. It's just exciting. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Trevor's not here this week. He's off in Philadelphia watching, I don't know, some band, the Pajamas or something. He keeps saying PJ for life, and I think he means I don't know. Anyway, no, it's Pearl Jam. I'm just kidding.
Pearl Jam,
but we call them the Pajamas.
The Pajamas.
Anyway, my favorite part about the game every year is that somebody becomes sort of this out of nowhere star or hero. A few years ago, It's a kid named Mike Morgan from Fraser Mountain that
Fraser
nobody
Mountain
had ever
High.
even heard of, and he threw for like 350 yards and 7 touchdown passes or something. And where did this kid come from?
Probably most of the people didn't even know there was a high school in Fraser
Right,
Mountain.
and he
you
earns
know?
the respect of not only the people watching, but these big-time names in Bakersfield who we knew are good players.
Right.
And they sort of got to turn around and give it to this guy and say, hey, you're the MVP of this thing. Where are you going to college? Where are you going to play? And it's just that's one of my favorite parts about it. And then we've had so many opening kickoff return touchdowns and touchdown dances and different things to really kind of get the crowd going. It's just a fun environment.
It's a great environment. It really is a good family event. Hopefully everybody will come out with their family, their kids. A lot of these kids that are playing now were there and watched when people they knew, family members they knew or friends or cousins played. And here it is 8, 9, 10 years later, and they're getting to participate in this game. So it's a big deal, and we're hoping everybody comes out and watches.
Now, there's been some transitions in leadership and even ownership of this game.
Yes.
Was there ever a point since you've been involved with it, just maybe 5 years now?
7, I think. 7 or
years,
8, yeah.
Where maybe it wasn't going to come off, where this thing's been in jeopardy?
You know what? I've never seen or heard of a situation where it wasn't going to happen. Whether it was going to be a situation that the expenses would meet the income, that was always a concern because, it's not cheap to put on a game like this. There's a lot of expenses involved, and sometimes it becomes a question about that. To be very blunt about it. The good thing about the last few years especially, we've got sponsors like USA or the U.S. Army and Bakersfield College and some other big sponsors that are involved in helping to put this game on. I mean, they're putting up some big funds to make this event a good event. And there are a lot of sponsors. I can't think of all of them. I know Bakersfield College is one, and of course, like I said, U.S. Army. But, it's primarily put on for the benefit of the community and the benefit of the kids that are playing in this game. It's touch and go from time to time to make sure that it has, bills are paid and make sure everything's paid for.
And part of that is the extra funds all go towards scholarships or to charity. And
Scholarships, yeah. I was looking at some of the notes, and in the last 15 years, I think close to $20,000 have been given away in scholarships to different people, and that's just a great thing. That's a really good thing to come from an event like this. And so Stephanie Varell is now in a management group with some other people that own the company, the promotional company that puts on this game. And I've known Stephanie for about 5 or 6 years, worked with her hand in hand. She's been involved for many years, a lot longer than I have. And I got to say, on all honesty, her objective is to make sure that this event is a fun event for everybody that's involved. That's from the person that is at the back door, the security guy, all the way up to the referees and the players and the fans and everybody that's involved. She wants to make sure that they get their money's worth, that they go away thinking this was really a fun night. And so we're hoping that's going to happen again. I'm absolutely positive it will with Stephanie at the helm. But, she's going to make a few changes from the last few years. I think they're all positive changes, nothing real big. The game itself is going to come off as usual. But she's added a few wrinkles. They're going to spend a little time before the game. Between 4 and 6 o'clock, there's going to be some activities for the families and the kids out in front of Rabobank. They're going to have a football toss. They're going to have a basketball toss. There's going to be some other things going on. U.S. Army, although I haven't seen the exact list of what they plan to do, but they usually bring a Humvee out there, and they got some guys in soldier gear and stuff. So some of the little kids that come get a chance to see a soldier face to face. It's really going to be a nice time those first couple of hours before the doors open. And, of course, the doors will open at 6, and then the game is scheduled for kickoff at 7. So
yeah, we have a slide here that kind of gives some details as far as how to get in, where to get in. I think you can buy tickets online. You have a link up on the U.S. All-Star Bowl Facebook page, U.S. Army All-Star Bowl Facebook page. It's May the 13th, 7 o'clock at Rabobank. Tickets are $10. Does that price remain at the door? They're $10 at the door as
No,
well?
and actually, it's the tickets are $10, but the Rabobank charges a service fee of $2.
Okay.
So the actual price, if you go up to Rabobank, is $12 per ticket.
Okay.
And that can be confusing sometimes. Now, if they go online and buy through Ticketmaster or some of the other outlets for tickets, the service fee could be even higher than that. So my suggestion would be, if you can, go ahead and go down to Rabobank and get your tickets ahead of time. It is reserved seating. So, the sooner you get there and buy your tickets, the better chance you're going to have at a really good seat, although there's not a bad seat in the arena, to be honest with you.
No, there's really not.
No.
And as we have up there also, one of the charities you're benefiting this year, Thumbs Up Cancer Down.
Yes.
Bring some tissue or bring a word search is what we're asking to enter for a prize drawing.
Yeah, a puzzle or a word search.
Crossword puzzle, whatever.
Right,
yeah.
or a 3-pack of tissues. And this stuff will be used for families and in giveaways when they have a need for that group. They're going to be involved in helping these people and families that are going through crisis with the cancer and things of that nature. So if someone brings these items, you're going to be picked to be involved in the giveaway that they're going to have. There's another thing too that they're going to do, and I believe they did this last year. If you take a selfie during the game with a player or your family or a coach or something like that at the arena and post that on Twitter or Instagram, then you're going to have a chance to win some prizes as well.
Is there a hashtag you have to use? I know you're not of this generation necessarily, Nick, but is there a hashtag?
I barely learned what a hashtag is, and I don't know specifically. I thought I gave you one of those things. I don't know if
I may have missed it if you did.
Yeah.
We'll find that out during the break.
Yeah, but I know there is, but I don't know what it is. So we can get that information.
Yeah, we'll get that info for you.
Yeah. And
John, did you say you had it? Okay, we I guess we didn't see it, but we'll figure it. Maybe Stephanie knows, or one of the.
Yeah.
We'll ask the guys who actually use hashtags.
Yeah.
Maybe what the hashtag
that
is.
would be smart.
We do have some players in the house. We're going to start with the gold team. The gold team coach this year is Gerald Perucci.
Yes.
Newly of Shafter, formerly Bakersfield Christian and East. And then the black team coach in the third segment will be talking to Dennis Manning and some of his boys. And Dennis Manning, of course, the very successful Ridgeview coach. These guys are veterans of the arena ball game, which I always like because they know all the tricks and wrinkles and everything. And you don't have Eric Mahanke out there who dominated the game for the last 5 years. So it's actually up in the air who might win this year, who can take the mantle from Eric.
I'm really excited about the game. Both these coaches are very good friends of mine. I have a lot of respect for them as not only coaches but people. They both are coaching for one reason, and that's to be mentors to the kids that they coach in their sports. And they both do know the game, and I'm looking forward to spending some time with them. So I'm glad to be involved. I think it's going to be a great night. And like I said, I hope everybody goes down and spends the money and buys a few tickets. Take your family, take your friends. It's really cheap entertainment, to be honest with you. This is the largest and first and biggest all-star high school arena game in the nation.
Indoor high school all-star game, yeah. And it's absolutely become an institution here in Kern County.
Yes, it has.
And you had a draft back, I believe, at Three-Way Chevrolet in January, right?
Yes, I believe it was January.
Coach Perucci and Manning got to choose their players one at a time who were eligible either through Player of the Week voting during the year, or you pick some others. They're all seniors, some of the best athletes in town. Typically, you have a couple who don't play because they're college football bound, and they either enroll early, like Jordan Love at Liberty is obviously not going to be in this game because he's already enrolled at Utah State, or their colleges would just prefer not to because you occasionally do see injuries, as you will in any football game. We saw a couple of big ones last year that were unfortunate. Cole Dewey of Centennial Baseball had kind of a freak injury, and people blamed it on the arena game. I am one of those people who says, look, it's football.
Yeah.
There is a possibility of injury no matter what. And so you don't see all of the big names, but you are going to see most of them. And the kids who are in it get excited about it and really get into it.
Yeah, even the kids that are Division I going on, I would bet if I asked each one of them, they would probably want to play if they could. It's that much.
I think you're right, yeah.
It's that exciting for them and to get to knock heads with people they've played around and played against. And, a lot of these players are going to be opposite each other now. They're not going to be all on the same team. They're going to be on different teams.
And that's an interesting dynamic, too. And I remember a few years ago, we talked about the NFL draft being this weekend, and Cody Kessler hoping to get picked this week. And he did not get to play in the Arena Bowl because he'd already enrolled at USC.
Right.
But he came down for the game, or came up for the game, I should say, and was part of it, and just kind of wanted to soak in the atmosphere and be with his buddies in his class as they played their final high school game. Nick, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. I believe we have the gold team coming up first. Gerald Perucci. Who do we have? Jared Snyder and Hector Lopez of Miramonte also is here for the gold team. So they'll be up next after the break here on BVarsity Live.